Hi, I'm David Burton from Interactio. I want to talk to you today about Optio Fuel, our Bluetooth wireless fuel flow sensor. So what we have is a sensor that looks like this, and inside we have elliptical gears. And the elliptical gears have two magnets in one of these gears, and as the fuel flows through, it spins the magnets. So as the gears turn and the magnets spin, there's a sensor that sits on the bottom of the circuit board just above the magnets, and it counts the number of pulses and rotations. And every time there's a rotation, we can measure exactly how much fuel went through because we're a positive displacement style fuel flow sensor. So we count the number of pulses, the number of rotations, and then send that through a Bluetooth chip on the underside of that circuit board to a tablet or phone. And the app at that point takes the number of pulses that are there and it calculates your current fuel flow. Now this is live and running. There's a sensor in the stand underneath this helm unit. And so what we see is the calculation being done for the fuel flow. So we got 9.9 gallons an hour right now. And we also have GPS enabled phones or tablets, so we get your speed from the GPS, and with those two things we can calculate your range, we can calculate your economy, and then we have the sensor here, and each sensor is a totalizer. So we can have up to 6 different sensors, and the sensors can be either supplies or returns. So for diesel engines you have return lines, so the returns will be automatically subtracted from the supplies to give the net fuel that was flowed. And so with that information, we also have, when the user sets the app up, they set up the capacity of their fuel tank, and then they enter how much fuel they have in the tank, and the totalizer subtracts, and you end up calculating the fuel remaining. So we can look at the fuel remaining, and we can then figure out how far you can go with the amount of fuel that you have at the current burn rate. So what we do then is map that on a map with the blue circle. So the blue circle is your range at your current burn, and you'll see that as I change the throttle, that will change. Now what we then look at, you'll see 2 circles on here. So you see I just changed the throttle and now we have the range change. So the next thing that we have is, over a period of time, we analyze the speed and the flow of fuel. And what we do is we have an optimizer algorithm that calculates the optimal flow. And the optimal flow is the flow at which the fuel use is the lowest and the speed is the highest. And then what we do is put this green line on the map, and the green line represents how far you could go if you were cruising at optimal. So for the skipper of the boat, all you've got to do is adjust the throttles until these 2 circles line up. And as you get closer and closer, you can simply line these 2 circles up, and then you know you're always running at optimal. So a very simple operation. The optimizer updates itself automatically as you run, so you don't need to ever do any calculations yourself. It'll automatically run through them, and what it will do is update if you have different weight on the boat, or wind, tide, current, things like that, or if you're towing a tender or you got growth on the bottom, it will automatically change throughout the year. So that's it. It's called Optio Fuel. It takes about 5 minutes to install. Simple, has some hose barbs that you put in, and the hose barbs come in different sizes for different engines, and it takes about 10 minutes to install. No wires, easy to use. Thanks very much.